Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up Cosmic Crucible Edition. I'm Run7. How you doing? Today we had Jgiusti and Prplestiky, and we kind of had Pathfinder Gaming. And so if we make any mistakes, we're going to make fun of Pathfinder Gaming for it because he wasn't here long enough to really help us out. But Jgiusti and Prplestiky were, and they did a great job. If you want to be a part of these conversations Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do this live on stream, and you can check that out. I usually edit that part out of the stream recycles because I think it's more important for the people who are here live. They get to enjoy that. Anyways, this is Lavin's defense. That's right, Lavin's defense. And they've got Asgardians on, and we're kind of back and forth whether this is a good idea. We're not sure Lavin's TCP. We're not sure what league Lavin is in. They didn't give me that information, so we're shooting from the hip here. I think that the Asgardians are a liability. They're definitely a liability at the high end. Everybody at the high end knows how to clip this team extraordinarily efficient. It's a gimme to your opponent. There's 2 or 3 ways you can just wipe this team out at the high end. As you start becoming a newer player entering in early, it becomes a little bit tougher. So let's assume that Lavin's opponents don't have easy button counters for this team and that they're getting the value out of going G15 on the gear here, which I don't recommend personally. We're going Raider on everybody. It's the easiest way to go. The charge mechanic on the Valkyrie basic isn't exciting enough for us to do Striker anymore, so we just think Raider for the damage is probably the best way to go. The placement on this is okay. I kind of like Sif out to the outside, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. This team is either going to get you some efficiency score or it's going to fold real fast. I don't think the placement on Sif is going to matter too much, but if you want to split hairs, let's put Sif out to the outside. And then, go blue gear. Go into the blue gear, or I'm sorry, the blue ISOs on this team is probably the where to go. All in all, it's okay. I'm going to give it a B. It doesn't get me too excited. And as you progress through the game, you're going to want to pull this off. You can use it as a cleanup for Tangled Web. If you have some trouble getting rid of a Tangled Web, you can go back in with this team to clean up Tangled Web. So it might have more value there as a backup team in your offensive lineup, but I don't think it's great to continue this way in defense. Number 2 is the Young Avengers. Here's another team that maybe we want to pull for offense. They can be used to go into Axemen. I don't know if you're seeing a lot of Axemen at this level, but this team works very well against the Axemen, and I like them. They also handle Death Seed so long as your Echo doesn't get deleted on turn 1. They can do some things. It's a versatile team for both offense and defense. However, a lot more people are learning how to efficiently deal with this. Again, you go into this with like Eternals and blow them up really fast and they're gone and it's over. I think that at lower ends, you can keep these guys on defense, or excuse me, these girls on defense, and they're going to net you a lot of efficiency score points because this match can last long if you don't do it right. The placement is fine. I do like Miss Marvel off to the side. Doesn't really matter too much there. And the ISOs are okay, although as Kate Bishop gets more stars, I think you should probably move her back to a striker. She'll have the focus to do what she needs to do, and having her come back with her basic ISO attack to clear positive effects is going to be more valuable. She actually hits pretty hard, and that can do a lot of damage. Again, let's just go ahead and do blue ISO 2 or 3, your choice on this team. It's a very rugged team, very versatile in a lot of places, and you can get a lot of value out of it. These aren't teams that you want to build because they're past their prime, but they're good teams. This one is anyway. I really like the Young Avengers. So I'm going to give this an A-, just needs a little bit of tweaking with those with the ISOs on it. All right. This team is kind of a waste. Anything that is going to beat the Tangled Web is going to beat the Dad Bros on it. You could pull your Dad Bros apart from this team and make a different defense just using fast characters. They don't even have to be big. Anything that'll go fast and crit. If you happen to unlock Noir, you can have him in here as a Raider and he'll crit. He's not going to do anything. You don't need to build him. He's not a good character, but he goes fast. He crits. You could use Yo-Yo. You could use Proxima Midnight as a Raider. Anybody to help them get going makes for a pretty formidable defense. I think they're being wasted here with your Spider Weaver team. We were talking about this team extensively, and we believe that you should probably pull Tangled Web for offense because they are so good at defeating so many different things that if you do come across somebody who is turtling at your level, you have this in your back pocket to just deal with it, and it's not going to be a problem. Symbiote Spider-Man isn't doing you too many favors here. There's not enough negative effects for him to prolong. Yes, he's giving 30% health to the Tangled Web team. That's not going to matter with what they're coming into it with. If you really want to keep this team on defense, I suggest the Astonishing X-Men. However, at your level, if you haven't already built that team, don't build them. You're not going to get the value out of them. So for me, this is kind of a big waste. I'm going to give it a C-. I think it should be split up into 2 teams, one for offense, one for defense. Team number 4, this is an F right here. I don't care how big your unlimited is. If you have Rogue and Gambit in like gear tier 12 or 13, you can use them as plug and play on teams. You could put them over here or something. I don't know. You could put them just about anywhere. They have a lot of potential and you're not getting anything done. Like she's going to go under stealth and put Rogue under stealth, even though Rogue has the taunt with safeguard, the stealth overrides that. And that's no good. You want Rogue to be stealthed with defense up and immunity. That's the whole point. So this is a terrible waste of your uncanny and your unlimited. I would say if you have a functional unlimited team, you could use them on defense. If you wanted to switch over to Turtle, I think it's a little early for you to be going Turtle. So I would use them on offense or use parts of them for offense. And then you could use Phoenix and Cyclops, Colossus, Phoenix and Colossus as plug and play tunes on a different defense. Also, Colossus should be a skirmisher if you have the T4s in him or a fortifier if you don't. As for Cyclops and Magic, it's too late for them. You didn't build them early enough and they're over the hill. We only got a couple of weeks left of Age of X. Don't bother building the Uncanny team. It's a great team if you already had it built. So let's break this up again. Use it for parts and pieces. See if you can't get something with the unlimited team. That team, even if you have the rest of them at gear tier 12, are going to do some amazing things in Crucible over the next couple of weeks. I would rush to get them up and running and utilize them. They're an absolute powerhouse in Crucible. The rest of this team, parts and pieces. For me, this is an F. Moving on. Number 5. Okay, get Nobu out of here. He's trash. If you can get Red Skull to gear tier 12, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Get Red Skull up and just look through his abilities. Make sure he's giving the speed to Zemo and that his special is giving the speed to the team. That's as big as you build him and then you throw him in here. Makes this team go super fast. War Dogs crushes it at just about any level. Aside from that, your opponent can make some mistakes and have this team absolutely blow up in their face. So you went ahead and built Mr. Negative. Let's get some value out of him. Get Nobu out of here. Get Red Skull in here. You can use the team on offense for some interesting things, but it's a great filler defense. Later, you're not going to want to use it because your opponents are going to be smart enough to just bring in their War Dogs. You may not see a lot of War Dogs at your level. Kingpin's really good in skill raids. You can also use Zemo. I hear some people using Taskmaster in skill raids. I don't know, but you already got him going, so whatever. The ISOs on this, I would switch Zemo over to a skirmisher to make sure the ability block lands. Taskmaster can be a striker or a skirmisher. He's going to do a lot of counter assisting, even for those minions who don't have an ISO class, so just kind of decide what you want to do. And then I think Red Skull comes in as like a fortifier or something and just keep him alive. I don't know. It depends on how big your Red Skull is. You could use him as a skirmisher to lay up an extra vulnerable if you want. He doesn't really need to do anything other than go. As long as he just gets in there and does his special, then this team just crushes things. So let's do that. I'm going to give it a C+. Nobu's kind of detrimental to this. It can beat a lot more things if you get Red Skull in here. Team number 6 is the Gamma team. This is fine in 6. It's probably your best defense. We need to, I'm sure it is your best defense. We need to trade places with She-Hulk and Red Hulk so that he is in between the 2 tanks taunting. Then Brawn as a fortifier is a really bad choice. That was wasteful. You're not using him as a fortifier anywhere. I know you want to try and keep him alive, but just don't. Go healer on Brawn. You already have healer on the other 2. That's pretty good. Abomination as a raider is fine, and Red Hulk as a raider is fine. You could switch the whole team over to fortifier, the whole team over to healer, or you could just switch Brawn over to healer, and then maybe later you could adjust the ISOs or whatever you want to do. Everybody's singing the praises of a full healer Gamma, whether it be on defense or going for the awakened abilities, whatever. It's working. So a lot of people are making that switch back to healer. So yeah, placement swap and tweak those ISOs. I'm going to give this team a B. It's not too bad. It is your best team, and I see that you do have some teal gear on it, which makes me think that maybe you're a little further along and you just stripped out your defense for a more offensive approach. This offends me. It's got to be changed real fast. This isn't doing you any favors. You could get a lot more value out of it doing some different things. And then you got to think whether you want this on defense. It could draw an A4's Doom team, which is probably your best bet because it might fail or something, but there's a lot of other things that kind of beat it too. And then, of course, this is going to be a liability going forward, so make those changes if you want. Or you could just call me a loser in the comments and say that you hate my advice. That's cool, too. It helps the algorithm. Anyways, remember, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourselves and others, too. And I'll see you next time. Bye.